Hey, look at that. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes then. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast and them. Coming to you from Dunlap's grandmother's basement in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
No, that ain't. I have a bucket
What?
of guest cheese puffs, clearly labeled, and you keep reaching your hand over here into my bucket. If you're going to come down here into my room and we're going to do this,
Just
eat your own cheese puffs. I put out snacks for you.
there
You keep
ain't
putting
no
your hand in my bucket.
Where is the cheese puff? That's the only cheese puff that is on your side. I don't see it anywhere else. Where am I supposed to get them at if I'm supposed to eat my own?
You put them here next to the garbage can. The garbage can is also
I
a
don't
bucket
want
of
it.
cheese puffs. You set it down here next to the garbage can. The garbage can is old cheese puffs. I see how you get confused.
What?
I see how you got confused. Look here. See? You see?
I see garbage, yes.
Behind it. Behind all them tissues.
What is it? What
Here's-
am I looking for in the damn garbage?
Your cheese puffs is sitting next to the garbage.
Oh. I'm not going to eat garbage.
You
cheese
set them
puffs.
next to the garbage.
I don't remember setting
And
them
then
there.
some
If I
tissue
did, I don't.
fell into your cheese puff.
Well, I ain't eating it. If
Well,
it's
then you
something,
go
if
hungry.
garbage fell into it, then that means it's all garbage. And if you won't not share, just say
Is that
I'm not going
true?
to share with you. Just say.
First of all, I shared and you blew it.
Well,
Second of all, is that true? If garbage falls into something, then the whole thing is garbage? Does it
far
fell
as-
into?
if it's food anyway, yes.
So if I have a thing of French fries and I put a used napkin, McDonald's napkin, in the French fries, and you're like,
Why would you put a used napkin in if you're eating them? Why do you want to put
Well,
garbage
maybe
in
they're
it?
your French fries, and
I
I thought
don't
you were
want-
done with them.
I'm not going to eat it. If you did that, I'd make you get me some more French fries. I said, what the hell did you put garbage in my
What
food
do you
for?
think I am, made out of money?
I didn't set I don't remember setting anything over there. If I did, I don't remember.
You losing it. Oh, wait. No. I'm eating this says guest. I'm eating yours. Folks, I'm
Give
sorry.
me that damn I don't even want them. Never mind.
I remember
No, you
now.
don't want to share. It's just you don't. I didn't set. I knew I did. You always say that. You think, well, you old and you forget. And I can say this, and he'll say, well, I don't remember doing it. That don't mean you didn't do it. If you're trying to play games on me, there's going to come a day where I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and you'll really laugh then. But that's pitiful to try to take advantage of an old man the
No,
way he
what
thinks.
happened was I forgot and I knocked a lot of my weed paraphernalia into the garbage can. I set my cheese puffs down next to the garbage, knocked some garbage into them,
What?
and then I got into looking at all my weed paraphernalia, and then you started eating my clearly labeled Dunlap's cheese puffs, and the guest cheese puffs were here covered by the garbage. That's what happened, and that's what happened. Okay, I get it now.
I don't want it. I'm never going to eat cheese puffs down here again. I ain't going to reach for nothing. I'll from here on out, I bring my own snacks.
Folks, welcome to the Red State Update Podcast. I wanted to say that maybe this is not the best way with all the news going on. It's too much news, so much news happening with Donald Trump in the damn White House. It's overwhelming. It's an avalanche of news.
Yeah.
And people, you could be anywhere listening to news analysis and coverage, and you came here, and we're talking about garbage, cum-filled Kleenex, drug paraphernalia, and I'll tell you what, you got more information from that than Stephen Dan Miller on the Sunday shows today.
What is it?
Talking about the voter fraud,
Oh, yeah.
talking about what Trump's got more done. Like, look, if you run into the streets, take off your pants, take a big shit in the middle of the street,
Hey.
run around, tie your pants on your head, go wooga wooga wooga, start waving your put your dick in a bird bath,
Hey, watch your mouth. I don't want to hear it.
and then do about 50 other things every day that's as crazy and stupid as putting your dick in a bird bath.
Hey.
Actually, I don't want to knock it because I've never put my dick in a bird
Just
bath.
shut your mouth. I don't want to hear about sticking nothing nowhere.
you could say, well, he's done more as president in these 3 weeks than any other president has before him. Has any other president put his dick in a bird bath?
Hey.
Have they?
Hey.
Johnson accidentally. Where'd my dick go? Hey, where my dick head at? In that bird bath?
All right.
Somebody help me reel it back in.
Enough.
That may be a myth. You ever heard the thing that Johnson's...
Yes, I heard stories, but I don't like to sit around and talk about men's things, whoever it is,
Well,
presidents, regular, yours, anybody's. I don't think that's appropriate conversation for any place.
Not even a podcast.
I would want to hear it. Yeah, come over here and listen to this. I'm talking about this man's thing. I ain't gonna go over and listen to it.
Well, you don't know how a podcast works.
I guess I
You don't know
don't.
how to
If that's
play
what
it, you
if
don't
that's
know
what
how
a
to
podcast
record one.
is, I don't know the first thing about it then.
So I'm going to say that we've done more in the first 6 minutes of this podcast than Stephen Miller has in his entire career or his 31 years on Earth.
Yeah.
Stephen Miller, let's talk about Stephen Miller a little bit, because there was this article that said that people used to he would email people so often they looked at his email like spam. When he worked for Jeff Sessions and they were talking about like immigration overhaul, like being a little easier on immigration, he'd send out. He's basically, I guess, what I'm imagining in these emails were a bunch of racist against Mexican cartoons and jokes, like he was your old uncle, except he was like a 25-year-old from Santa Monica.
Yeah.
So, like, when your 60-year-old uncle sends you a bunch of racist cartoons featuring sombreros, and he's 60 years old and an alcoholic, you can say, well, there's a couple of things contributing to this behavior. It's not an excuse, but he's 60 years old, and he's an alcoholic.
This old man set in his ways, don't know better, yeah.
But not an excuse.
No, he ought not be awful no matter what. No.
Stephen Miller grew up with the fucking internet.
Hey.
I don't think that in Stephen Miller's memory there's been a time when SpongeBob SquarePants did not exist. He should not be the way he is. He grew up in Santa Monica, California. There's people literally who grow up in holes in the ground. And this man grew up when Three's Company took place. He had everything handed to him. And he goes to work for Jeff Sessions and Donald Trump. That's the path he takes. Now, granted, now he's on TV every day.
Yeah.
Backing Donald Trump up. How is that something you want to do?
That's what they're doing.
Donald Trump has told, here's what the men, we're also scared of these people. Stephen Miller, Steve Bannon. Is that his fucking name, Stephen Miller?
Who?
Let's just say it is at this
Steve
point.
Miller.
I've said it so many times. Steve Bannon. Flynn.
Yeah. Now,
Not even-
Flynn's talking to the Russians. He's been talking, and they know this. Everybody's saying it now, because people are, well, he shouldn't have done that. Well, no, he shouldn't have. You're right about that. But ain't nobody going to do nothing about it. Watch.
Nobody going to do nothing.
Nobody
about
going to do a
this
damn thing. Somebody's literally doing something as bad as talking to Russians. Flynn every 5 minutes, and I guarantee you, get as mad as you want, walk in the street, scream and holler, do whatever, and and I know if that makes you feel better, go do it. That's fine. It reminds me of old time 60s, and I think it's a waste of time to get everybody's way. But if that's what you got to go do it. Hell, I don't care. But you ain't gonna make a damn bit of difference. I'm telling you right now. If something was gonna make a difference, it would have done made it by now. That's gone out the window long time ago. Ain't no Republicans in there stand for a party I used to be in. Not a one. McCain acts like it half the time, Lindsey Graham every now and then. That's about it. The rest of them a bunch of damn cowards as far as I'm concerned.
Flynn talked to Russia about the sanctions several times. He's not even denying it, right? He can't remember. Is that what the
Yeah, he don't. I was talking to him about this or that. Well, first off, you're talking to the Russians on a lot. more than occasions than you think somebody should be being in a position.
This is National Security Advisor Flynn, right?
Yeah.
That's
he's national
the
security.
one who's talking to the Russians.
He's now you know something's wrong because like when Pence gets concerned, which he don't ever with Trump don't ever concern him, but like Flynn concerned Pence, so that means something right there.
There was an article today, or when was it? There was this article going around that in the war between Bannon and Flynn, we want Flynn to win because he's halfway concerned about Trump blundering through the world like a bull in a shop that sells,
Something
fragile,
tiny,
relationships.
little, yeah.
A fragile relationship shop. So we want Flynn, according to this article, which could have been, leaked to somebody by the Flynn camp.
Well, didn't
lots
Flynn,
of leaks.
Now, some people said he was leaking a little while back because he was the one that, the president calls him up at 3 or 4 in the morning asking him about the dollar bill, whether it should be weak or strong.
Yeah, the president doesn't know whether the dollar bill should be weak or strong, and he doesn't. Do we want a strong dollar or do we want a weak dollar? And he also doesn't know who to ask, so he asked Flynn.
Yep. That's who's running the world right now.
Somebody leaked that. Yeah. I don't know who else was on a 3 a.m., 4 a.m. call from the president. Does Flynn have a wife? Is there a Mrs.
I don't know.
Flynn?
I would think so. I hope, but I don't know. So I don't know. They're trying to figure out who's telling everybody everything on a regular basis. And I tell you right now, whoever it is, they're just covering their butts is all they're doing. They said, look, I've been telling he was crazy from the get-go. And it'll be somebody, I guarantee you, that probably helped him get elected, but as soon as he got in there, they said, well, I made him, they're going to be writing a book.
Oh, these books are going to be terrifying.
Oh,
these
good
books
God.
are going to be like Cuban Missile Crisis, like every day. Every 3 hours, there's a Cuban Missile Crisis that we're narrowly avoiding. I don't know how because basically everybody's job, Bannon, Miller, Kellyanne Conway, Reince Priebus, even Flynn, all of them, basically their job is to go out and back up lies.
That's all that they do. Oh, that and sell merchandise. Conway lady get on TV and shit, and it ain't because I think they're really trying to sell something. I know better than that, but they're that stupid. If you're that damn dumb to not think that you're not supposed to do that, and taxpayers are paying your salary for you to go on there and do commercials for stuff made in China, you think that through before you run your mouth and think it's cute and funny. What the hell is that?
So, Nordstrom's, which I guess is like a Kastner knot.
Something I never been I heard like Kmart did this. I know Kmart and something else.
Ivanka Trump had a line of clothes. You go to the store, you get your Ivanka Trump shirt. Nordstrom's dumped it. And then Trump got mad at Nordstrom's and said, How dare you,
yeah,
so-called store, stop selling my daughter's stuff. My daughter, such a good person, always trying to get me to do the right thing.
Yeah. You don't know how lucky you have it because of her. If you knew all that she's done for you.
Which ever since then, all I do is see her dressed up as Jiminy Cricket.
Why?
Not in a sexual, just how I see her. Like she's standing on Trump's and then I see Trump as like Pinocchio. That's funny.
Well, Pinocchio didn't want to do bad things with Jiminy Cricket, thank God. He never talked about how sexy Jiminy Cricket was. He did a lot of us that he lied and his nose, all that's come, but he never was attracted to Jimmy Cricket in the way, I don't like to say it.
Trump wants to be a legitimate president, just like Pinocchio wants to be a legitimate boy.
Yeah. I don't know if that's ever. I don't know how that. Nah.
Also, Italians, Mussolini, Geppetto.
Oh, yeah.
I may be pushing the. Anyway, the point is, Ivanka Trump had a line. He come on there and said, Nordstrom, you stupid son of a bitch. And then I think Nordstrom's stock went down. Then it went back up. Now I don't know. It's just, these are not things that used to happen.
I don't. The word Korea is the bad Korea, the top one. That Korea, because I know there's good Korea too, but the bad Korea just shot off a missile, and he's arguing with That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be something awful next, and
Korea set off a missile into the sea. Trump is arguing with the store, and I don't know that I want him arguing with North Korea.
Well, yeah.
In a way, it's better if he just argues with the store.
Maybe that's whoever's leaking this is the one encouraging him. Maybe he's saying, "Should I?" And nah, you take care of Nordstrom. We got you. We gonna cover this all right, Mr. President. Whoever's doing that, God bless you.
Trump is gonna have to deal with North Korea. Who's gonna deal with North Korea? President Trump is. That's what's happened.
Did you say that Japan Prime Minister Japan them shaking hands? That's the worst thing I've seen. Every time you watch Trump do anything, it's bad.
But him touching people is worse.
That's all. You feel bad, and that poor man is sitting there. What the hell is he doing? But I guess they're having a good time. I went down to they playing golf. Went down to he likes to go there every weekend.
Mar-a-Lago.
That's where it is, yeah. Well, Florida, somewhere, yeah.
So Ivanka Trump, and then Kellyanne Conway, we covered it.
Yeah.
We went into it backwards. There's so much stuff. I don't even know. The Japanese prime minister, he was, oh man. So he
was sitting there and thought he could understand him. Nodding.
He was.
But not, yeah. He don't know. Just.
China.
Oh, he likes China now.
He likes China. He
likes
folded
China.
like a card table.
He big shot. Yeah, I'll stand up for China, this and that. Well, he ran on that. He said the word China I don't know how many damn times running for the White House, and now he got in there.
China won when Trump got elected. There's no scenario until Trump is out of office where China does not win. No matter what Trump does or says about China, China wins.
Very much, yeah. Well, Putin, ultimately, he's won. That man's laughing so hard over Russia, and they laugh hard. You ever hear them laugh at big hearted, I can't do it,
I've never heard a Russian laugh.
The Russians just laugh hard. Just when they do it, it's like, you know how they do, they laugh real hard like it and they dance. You've seen them do it. They get drunk and laugh hard and dance onto the real low to the ground.
You're thinking of witches.
Well, I don't know. Russians go real low to the ground and kick.
Go,
they ain't doing that. No,
they go up high.
That's a high. No,
they go high. Russians go low. When Russians go low, witches go high.
I can't do it.
All right, Boris Badenoff.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's Putin doing it every day. He's watching this every 5 minutes. He looking at it. I'm sure he got one of the phone like yours, and it's something dinging in it or clanging on it, and he's looking at it every 5 minutes and laughing.
You're trying to make me feel guilty about an iPhone because Putin has one too. Bark up another tree.
I'm just saying that's how all that spy stuff, that's how information, that's all that gets around is using that. They watching everything you do on that phone. Just laughing.
Drunk.
Well, yeah.
Calling up Flynn.
Yeah, talking to, Flynn, maybe you shouldn't laugh about that, sir, but.
What, the dossier? So now they're, oh, man.
Well, he's going to give him, he's going to get, oh, yeah, okay, there's so much there.
I got some stuff wrote down on the back of this Erica Laniak poster.
Who is that woman?
Erica Laniak.
I don't know. She on TV or something.
They wrote down town halls, Ivanka Trump, crazy president, Flynn, Russia.
Well, now, going back to Russia.
And then I got some stuff on my phone here, too.
The guy, the James Bond man.
Try not to wrinkle that poster up. I'm going to use it later.
I'm not going to wrinkle nothing. The James Bond man who got those stories about the women going to the bathroom around the president. Now, they said there's a bunch of load of bull. Ain't none of this true. He threw a fit and Wade still mad, you know. And people don't talk about it now. It's not just James Bond people now. This is us, FBI, CIA, those kind of our intelligence, you know.
They're saying some of this is true.
They ain't saying what parts, and they said it ain't the parts that make me sick to my stomach.
But we're talking about the parts where probably somebody, I'm just going to guess that Russia was talking to people in the Trump campaign.
Well, of course.
But now, is that going to get him in trouble? Is he just going to say, "Oh,
Nope.
I didn't talk to them"?
We've already covered this.
Sure, they called Manafort, but I hate Manafort. Who talks to Paul Manafort? Not me. I'm the president of the United States. I didn't know. If Russia wants to call Paul Manafort, I can't help. People call people.
Yeah, that'll be the end of it.
People call. That'll be a tweet. People call people. What am I supposed to do? Phone police now?
Yep. On a computer saying it. Yep.
Did we even talk about him? The stuff is just coming into my brain now as if I they're trying to just dream, like forgotten dream. It's as if I was a amnesiac.
Yeah.
I went and I woke up in the future, and the super scientist is trying to help me recover. It's trying to help me recover my memories. And I'm having flashes of them as if they were waking dreams. And I have this flash, and I'll scream, and people will say, patient X1, are you all right? And I'll go like, ha!
What the?
I just had a flash. I
Hell
just had
you-
a flash of Trump and O'Reilly. And O'Reilly saying Putin is a killer, and Trump saying, hey, like we're so innocent. I don't think we talked about that.
You forget everything that happens every day.
That's what I was trying to say. We start talking on here, and even though we have a few things written on the back of this Erica Laniak poster, and even though I got a few things written down on my phone, about 40, 50 different things that happened since our last podcast, which was on Tuesday, it's overwhelming. I can understand why people don't want to talk about politics. I can understand why people don't want to post things on their Facebook. I can understand why people voted for Trump and now don't want to deal with the repercussions of what they've done to the world.
Very much, yeah.
Because it hurts your brain. You just get a flash. Like that flash. You ever just been walking around, you get a flash of O'Reilly talking to Donald Trump in your brain?
No, hell no. Thank God.
Like you go into the park with your future girlfriend to play with the robot pigeons? And like, well, things aren't so bad. I don't need to know everything. I have all my memories. Ah! I just remembered Betsy DeVos getting blocked from a school.
Get used to that. You won't know. That ain't going to be a memory. When you thinking of that, you ain't going to know which time it was or which time it wasn't.
People want to run down. People don't like. Everybody's mad.
Very much.
The left is mad, and they're blocking the Secretary of Education from going into the school, which sounds ridiculous until you remember that the Secretary of Education was pretty much nominated because she wants to destroy the public school system. And that seems ridiculous until you remember the fact that this country elected Donald Trump president.
Then everything starts to make sense, yeah.
So they're like, how dare they protest her? And then they're like, well, how dare her be that? How dare her be that?
Yeah, she gonna have trouble getting in and walking in school. Like, you won't know if it was yesterday or the next day or
Hell, she won't be able to get into a Staples.
Nope.
A lot of people saying, crazy president.
Well, yeah. That's something that didn't make any sense to me. Some article on the CNN computer thing you showed me, and it says, Is this a thing that the press don't want to talk about? I'm like, well, no, they're reporting on crazy things every 5 minutes.
If you're like President, put his dick in a bird bath.
All right. You don't say it that way.
You're kind of commenting on him being crazy, whether you want to or not.
It goes.
If your dick's in a bird bath and it ain't giant and Texan, then you're a crazy person.
All right.
Or a bird, a sexy bird.
So I don't see how you're accusing the press of tiptoeing around this. I guess they're just not flat out saying this man is crazy, which maybe, if that's what he's saying, maybe they're right. Hell, I don't know.
Al Franken said it. Ted Lieu said it. Andrew Sullivan said it. Ruben Gallego said it. So there's more and more people in Washington saying, hey, maybe he's crazy.
He's crazy. You know, the way he talks, he lies all the time over things that there's no point in lying over.
Okay, so if the president was crazy, what would you do about it?
You tell me. Evidently, I tell you right now, so far, nothing.
Because you could say, why don't you go, are you okay? Have you been feeling down? Why don't you go, have you thought about taking a pill? Go talk to somebody. Why don't you go talk to somebody? I don't know. I think I'm okay. Like you would your friend, but you can't get the president to do it because he's got a lot of people that
Sure.
You can't get the president to admit that he's crazy because he's got a lot of people working for him.
Yep.
Whose job it is to back up every crazy thing he says.
Which they're doing the best. Of course, all that does is make them seem crazy too. That's pretty much all that does.
So you're never gonna get crazy president to admit he's crazy because his entire staff has backed up every delusional thing he's done. As a matter of fact, about half the fucking country voted for this crazy son of a bitch. So when he comes out from the doctor's office taking some pills and saying, you know what, I'm sorry, I got my medication regulated now. I'm really sorry about that whole voter fraud thing. Everybody on Twitter who tweeted in support of crazy president for voter fraud is going to be like,
Yeah.
So that ain't never going to happen.
No.
So how crazy could the president get before people would admit that maybe he's crazy? It's never going to happen. We have an entire partisan system.
Nothing's going to happen. Nobody's going to do it. There's stuff every 5 minutes. Something is happening that we barely escaped this or that or what. You know, we have a clown man fumbling around in there on things, just grabbing everything in the White House. The phone call.
Speaker of the House just wants his budget cuts. He wants his take away everything that goes to help. He doesn't care about the crazy person, but he does want to cut Social Security. So if he gets that,
Yeah.
It's sort of an experiment where we have a crazy president, but we get to cut Social Security. I think that's what happens in the Fountainhead, but I'm not sure.
And let me tell you right now, I'm mad about this, and I'm not just mad because it means the end of the country and we all may die, whatever else. A lot of other people may die. Ultimately, I tell you what I'm mad about the most. I look forward to the day Obama left office. And I look forward to the day we had a good Republican president that would drive those liberals crazy enough where they was acting like a Tea Party, and I was going to enjoy that. I was going to sit back and look at you now. Remember you said this and that and whatever? But now they're doing it, and it's for this dumb SOB. And I can't argue no, but all these liberals now, they're the ones showing up town hall meetings. Something happened here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. A teacher says, good Christian. Now, I don't know how I feel about Obamacare, ACA, all that stuff, but she said, you need to look out for, like Jesus did. He was help sick people. Of course, Jesus lay his hands on you, and that's you good as new. As soon as he does that, that's what he did. But I'm sure if Jesus wasn't able to do that or have that power, and that may be blasphemous for me to say, I don't mean to say it that way, I bet you anything Jesus would throw you over on a donkey and walk you to the hospital.
Or at least tell the donkey to take you to the hospital.
Yeah, he may be busy going, teaching disciples all that, but yeah, he would get you to a doctor.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say them doctors weren't worth shit back in. Bible doctors.
Well, it was you were better off. Trust me, with the way it was. Jesus laid his hands on you. You all better. That's the best. Yes, you didn't want to go.
You get an infection riding on a donkey. Period. So like, donkey take you to the doctor, make you sicker. And the doctor says, "Oh, Jesus sent you, huh? Well, get in here. Let me take a look. All right, here you go. Now y'all better get back on a donkey." Suddenly you got diarrhea again, donkey diarrhea. The Bible is not a place for sick people.
Diarrhea, you don't go unless it's happening for a long time. You don't go to the doctor over that. Jesus wasn't laying his hands curing people of diarrhea. Don't say it like that. We're talking blind.
I didn't say. I'd say when you get back on that donkey gives you diarrhea. I ain't saying Jesus heals you of diarrhea. I know better than that.
Well, I would hope you did. I didn't understand. I wanted to make sure what you were saying. I didn't quite understand that.
In Tennessee, so are you saying this woman in Tennessee who stood up at the Murfreesboro Town Hall meeting of Diane Black and said, "I'm a Christian. The Jesus that this Christian believes in cured people of diarrhea"?
No, cure every sick people. The real sick people. People stay sick. Don't get better people. Though there's a lot of people like that. Trust me, I know.
As a Christian, my whole philosophy in life is to pull up the unfortunate. So the individual mandate, that's what it does. The healthy people pull up the sick. Teacher Jessie Bohan said she is from Cookeville, Tennessee. She drove down to MTSU and to tell people what Jesus does.
And she's all over computer. And I said, well, look at there's a good Christian young. Now, listen, I was all for getting rid of Obamacare. Won't make this clear as a bail. I said we need to get rid of that. That's communist. It's communist. You just figure out what we're going to do. It's been 8 damn years, and they ain't nothing. They can't come up with nothing. I'm sitting there waiting. We should have been the Christian. We should have had the Christian health care. That should have been Republican. That's what Republicans stand for, used to. We should have had that. But no, sir. You give it to Obama, and that's all there is to it, and they gonna take it away, and ain't gonna be nothing. So I don't know what the hell to think about any of this.
This article I'm reading on this teacher from Cookeville does not mention a donkey at all, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I was saying Jesus would get you to a doctor if they couldn't lay hands, but that's silly to begin with because he could lay hands on you.
I like the idea of people going around to town halls and telling Republican representatives what Jesus would do.
Well, let's get a little of their own medicine for a while. That's what I'm saying. They're going to be now. All these people at Tea Party, that's the other way flipped around.
Utah, Chaffetz.
That's that old weird-looking face. Chubby,
he had a town
face.
hall that didn't go well.
What's it look like? It don't look right. His cheeks puff out or something.
Well, Jesus wouldn't talk about Chaffetz.
Well, I ain't Jesus. Jesus, he may have laid his hands on it and fixed his face. I don't know what he would have done. I ain't talking
like
about
a Republican representative right now. I ain't Jesus.
Well, I ain't.
I'm here to cut Social Security and defend a crazy person.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're doing these days. I don't know what else. But it's funny. Them getting screamed at. I'm glad somebody's screaming. I know they ain't listening to this, so I appreciate you going, I'm an old man. I can't get to all these things.
What, in Alabama, they chased... Alabama was the one where they called it. They said it wasn't happening, and then everybody showed up. He was just meeting with people who like him.
Yeah,
now that, to me, I can understand that. You don't want to have a party full of people who hate you and are going to yell at you. That doesn't sound like fun. I can understand the impulse to hide from people who are going to yell at you, but you're going to have to hide until you decide not to run again, because I think all these people are going to keep yelling.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Tea Party started out yelling, and then they just voted you out of office.
Pretty much, yeah. So we'll see if that's going to happen this time around, yeah.
They ditched the Paul Revere outfit. See, the left doesn't have the Paul Revere outfit.
That's a plus in my. I never did like it with that.
But they do have the cast of Hamilton.
What is it?
So people yelling,
Yeah.
crazy president.
Yeah, one man's face looks weird, strange
A
looking.
lot
face.
of people's faces look weird.
Well, that one.
You want to go down the? I don't see how the White House. To me, Donald Trump is one of the least appealing people in American politics, the history of American politics.
Well, yeah.
But people say he's charismatic. I don't understand it. People say he electrifies the room. I've never seen it. And somehow his deputies and his aides, from Steve Bannon to Stephen Miller to Gorka,
Oh, good God! Don't talk
are
about him.
even less. I know he wants people who look the part. He says we gotta have people who look the part, who look like a judge or who look like a whatever. But none of those people. I think the other side of that is he wants people who are less attractive than him. And he's doing a good job so far. If I had to compliment him on one thing, if I had to say the Trump presidency so far has succeeded at one thing, I'd say it's putting people in who are less attractive than him.
Yeah. And he's ugly too. Ugly to look at.
Well, that ain't something Jesus would say.
Well, I ain't Jesus. That's another thing I say.
I'm going to run down. I tried to keep a list here on my phone of things that happened. I'm just going to run through these real quick. Just going to barrel through them. Just to give you a taste of how much stuff. Some of this we've talked about a little bit. I'll move this here. Get ready to go. You ready?
Yeah, hell.
North Korea test, immigration raids.
Yeah.
He said that was keeping of his campaign promise. He's starting to round people up. He said it's all drug dealers, which I think that's not true from the get-go. That woman in Arizona who was see, you can't just barrel through these things. Russia talked to Flynn. The Justice Department pulling back from protecting transgender rights. Russia may extradite Edward Snowden as a present to us.
Yep.
It's weird when you get presents from Russia.
Russia, yeah.
Or from Snowden.
Yeah, you don't want to give.
That's kind of a Game of Thrones thing. We'll just send you this prisoner.
What?
Trump said we're going to do something very rapidly next week regarding U.S. security. That sounds terrifying.
Whatever that is, if it's more rapid than what he's already doing, then I don't.
We're going to do something, and we're going to do it very rapidly. It's not instill confidence.
That's yeah. I don't.
Toby Keith performed at the Trump inauguration, and there is a country music festival in the Chicago area that may nix him because that's how political things are. Toby Keith, who I don't think
He wasn't necessarily a Trump supporter. He just did it because,
we defend Toby Keith here on the Red State Update podcast. I think that he thought, like a lot of people, that you were saying, well, shit, they're both shitty.
Hey.
Fuck them both,
Hey,
right?
watch
Now
it.
let's have a party.
I don't say.
That you could do that, and I think people will not let you do that. I think that they both suck, right? I don't think that works anymore.
Yeah.
So sorry, Toby Keith. He may not be able to play Rib Fest.
He's going to miss the Rib Fest without Toby Keith.
When I put that into my phone, it comes up as Rub Fest.
What is it?
Rub Fest.
Rub it. What?
So I don't know if Toby Keith is either he might get booted from Rib Fest or he might get booted from Rub Fest. I've been booted from Rub Fest, and that is really missing out on a good time, and it haunts me still. I thought if I could have just kept it together for another half hour or so, I think I would have hit peak Rub Fest, and then they could have kicked me out, and I would have felt
All right.
okay
I don't
about
care
it.
if anything about no rubbish. Yes, to any kind. Toby Keith can't go there, and the football players don't want to go. They don't want to go to the White House.
Yep, they're gonna kick Toby Keith out of Rib Fest, and the Super Bowl players don't want to go to the White House.
This is the Trump world. Everything everything just not one thing is not touched by this.
There was that article where the political article where Trump says being president is hard.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't say it. People leaks from within the White House. Multiple people they interviewed said that Trump says, "Boy, it's hard." In Tennessee, they want to give, and in a lot of places, they want to give, if protesters are out on the interstate, on the roads, that you can hit them, and you'll get immunity
That's
from
just
running
asking.
over.
You just people. There's mean people in the world. Don't give them opportunity to hurt people. Now, if you protesting, don't protest in the street, because that's basically what they're saying. But don't if you gotta go do it, just stay out of the road, because somebody I guarantee you is gonna run you over. That's there people revving their engines as soon as I heard that news.
But if the protesters have guns, can't they shoot a car trying
Coming
to run
at
them
you,
over
I
in
think so.
self-defense?
I think if a car's coming at you,
So when you go to these protests,
it's a weapon,
I guess bring your guns. If you see somebody aiming a car for you, just get a couple shots off.
Well, if you're in Tennessee, you ought to bring your guns everywhere. That's the way we do here now. Protest or wherever you go, a library, make sure you got,
I'm pretty sure, I don't know about the immunity for running over a protester and what kind of law it takes, but I'm pretty sure if somebody tries to run you over with a car, you can shoot at them in Tennessee.
I think so.
And you're okay.
It's not quite stand your ground, but it's stand your...
I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure if somebody tries to hit you with a car, you can shoot them.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a lawyer. Border wall costs at $21.6 billion. That's a little more than they thought. Appeals court shut down the travel ban. Trump said, "See you in court." To the court. Had the call with Putin. China just didn't talk to Trump. Then Trump just folded like a card table with Trump on it.
Yep.
Let's see. There was that really weird Breitbart interview with Sean Spicer. There was Trump may privatize air control. There was a few reports on Gorka, the racist Sebastian Gorka, the racist Frazier. Although I was thinking that maybe Frazier was racist and we didn't realize it, because he likes a lot of the same bullshit Steve Bannon, that the canon, the masterworks of Western civilization, white people and their classical music and operas about Vikings. It seems to me there's a lot of crossover between Frazier and Steve Bannon, and also Kelsey Grammer is a Republican, and they probably all hung out together in those Republican right-wing circles, because there also was a lot of articles this week about Steve Bannon and his movies, like that Undefeated Sarah Palin movie. A lot of these movies played down here at Coley's Cinema.
It did, yeah. I didn't know he was behind a lot of those. Now, I didn't see a lot of these, but I remember them coming through town, yeah.
I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this. Maybe next week we'll spend some time. We could do a whole podcast just watching Steve Bannon's movies and listening to some of his radio shows. Like, he wanted to do a rap musical based on Shakespeare. See, that sounds Frazier-y to me. That sounds like an episode of Frasier. He wanted to do a space movie based on Shakespeare. He was president of a company that did like mining, like video game gold, where you go in and you just get a troll to like hit a rock and you get all that gold.
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
He was president of that.
I don't know what that is.
He was going to make an anti-science movie with Mel Gibson as a producer about cloning, an anti-cloning movie.
Yeah.
But I think Nazis were actual bad guys in that. We could spend a lot of time just talking about Steve Bannon's career. He warned the U.S. could turn into an Islamic state. A lot of this stuff with Steve Bannon, when you dive deep into Steve Bannon, into Steve Bannon,
I don't like
the
the
deeper
sound.
you get into Steve Bannon. Let's see. Elizabeth Warren. We didn't even talk. Jackie.
Yeah.
She had a letter from Coretta Scott King.
Yeah.
That was saying Jeff Sessions is racist. And this was in the 80s.
Well, yeah. They just trying to get revenge. They didn't care what it was she was reading. They probably didn't pay no attention to it. They have to listen to her more than they want to. I guarantee you. And I said, wait a minute, I can tell her to be quiet? All right then. Sit down,
Well, they should think about what letter she's reading and from what civil rights icon.
Yeah, they ought to give her respect as due. Yeah, absolutely. But, they didn't care about that. They wasn't having nothing to do with it.
How racist is Jeff Sessions that he was racist in the 80s and is somehow stuck around?
And David Duke is still around. There's a lot of these people around.
A lot of stuff that we didn't think was racist in the 80s is actually racist. Like if you watch the A-Team or a Coke commercial. And now here's somebody who we knew was racist in the 80s, and now he's Attorney General.
Very much, yeah, there he is.
Alabama produces a lot of people who are racist and then stick around for 20, 30 years later. Like Wallace.
Oh, yeah, he was around, yeah.
He was as racist as you could get.
Back in, yeah, that was as bad as you could get.
He was somebody you knew was racist.
Oh, there wasn't no question to it. Yeah, he didn't want, yeah.
People weren't like, is George Wallace racist?
No, nobody ever said that. No, they knew, damn.
They confirmed Price. They confirmed Mnuchin is getting closer. Yemen won't let us in anymore. That's a big story, right?
And nobody cares
That's
about
at the end
that.
of this list.
Nobody cares about that. That's right. See, even at the end of this list, they send them in without just not knowing anything about it, like everything else with him. And he's saying it was a success. Well, if it's a success, then why the hell Yemen won't you come back ever? You can't ever they was working with us to get terrorists. Been doing that for a while.
Nobody wants to go to Yemen, and now they're telling us we can't go there.
Yeah.
That's how bad things. We were the only people who wanted to go to Yemen.
That was it.
And now we can't even go. 3 weeks, and we're kicked out of Yemen.
Don't come back.
Can you imagine the YouTube comments if Hillary Clinton had got us kicked out of Yemen?
There ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. You wait and see. Just nothing.
We didn't even talk about where that whole day. Well, it was more like a morning where everybody was just talking about Trump being mad at John McCain and again because John McCain talked about Yemen.
Yep. He stays mad at him. They said, McCain stands up to him a little bit every now and then, but, he still voted for all these people. He's still just the same as anything else, yeah.
We didn't talk about Trump attacking Blumenthal for the Gorsuch interview where Gorsuch said it was, demoralizing. It was depressing that the president was talking about the judiciary this way. Then he attacked the guy who put it out.
Yeah. Yep.
Of course, maybe that's the plan, right? See, a lot of people always looking for the plan here. There were a lot of people saying that day that the plan was Gorsuch defends judiciary, Trump attacks sort of Gorsuch, or mostly the Dems, but kind of attacks Gorsuch through attacking the people who are defending Gorsuch. And then the Democrats start to defend Gorsuch, so Gorsuch passes, and then you got a Supreme Court justice that Democrats are going to cuss for 50 years.
Yep.
But I don't think anybody's that smart.
Not any of these people, no. They don't know what they're doing.
The argument against conspiracy theories is that people aren't that smart.
Every one of them. Everyone I ever heard. Like, nobody.
And in this case, they're even dumber than you would have thought.
Normal, yeah.
Chaffetz said we don't need the Department of Education. Corporations have
they're taking care of that.
Now I'm just some articles where corporations have learned that everything Trump, they know how to play him like a fiddle. This seems to be a thing that foreign leaders and corporations have learned that when you have a crazy president,
you can get anything you want, yeah.
There's 3, you pretty much just kind of, if you have a narcissistic president, you flatter them, and then you get what you want. The problem is that crazy presidents are unpredictable, and that maybe flattery will work this time, but you're going to say something accidentally that's going to offend him, and then all of a sudden, we're at war in the South Pacific.
There's a good chance of it, yeah. Now, one person said something about him it's okay, but now this time, of course, he just lying again. Oh, that fella Gorsuch, I was waiting for him to say something because he's a damn judge. And he said, well, hell, if that's how you're going to treat judging, I don't, that's not right. Say something. And finally he did. And I figured, oh, hell, he going to be mad as hell at this guy. But all he did, this is a pretty good way to say, no, is basically, no, he didn't. He didn't say anything about me. End of the discussion. Over and done with.
Half the arguments the Trump administration puts forth are nuh-uh.
You are. You did it first. Yeah, he said, I think he really said that a few times. You did it first.
It's week 3. It's destroyed the format of our podcast.
Yeah.
My mental health.
I'm old. I'm gonna see. I just not how I want to see the world go out. It's not what I want to see to happen to the greatest country in the world. This is not what I want to see. And if these are my last days, and I must have done something awful, good Lord don't see fit to put me through this. So be it, Lord. But Lord, I got a good sponsor. If you listen, I might well turn this into a prayer.
If you have suggestions on how we should cover the news now, we're all ears. We're all ears.
I'll have to talk about whatever you want me to talk about.
We got to. Did we introduce ourselves? I'm Dunlap. This is Jackie.
Huh? He don't say a name in the song or whatever it is at the top.
I don't know. Should we play it and listen?
It's already played once. Why make everybody else listen to it? I wasn't listening to it then.
Maybe they were putting the jack from the car stereo into the iPhone when that part was playing. You know, sometimes you press the button and then you jack it in.
I don't know any of that. I don't know what
sometimes you press the button and then you jack it in.
I got a good sponsor today.
The deeper we delve into Steve Bannon.
Just shut up. I got a good sponsor today, and like I said, it's to talk about the Lord. You need to learn about the Lord a little bit, and I want you all to get on the computer, look this up. It's on, what is it, YouTube, churches? It's on iTunes. It's all these places. And this movie I saw, now this isn't an official sponsor. I need to make that clear. I was told to say that legally. One of Nashville lawyers owned property. I went and asked him about it, and he said no. But I said it's something I think people need to go say. It ain't playing here yet. Hopefully, Cole Cinemas will have it playing here. But until then, I think you can look at it on a computer somehow. But it's called The Case for Christ, a journalist's personal investigation of the evidence for Jesus. And is that the book or the movie?
I think you're looking at the book.
I want to talk about the movie. What's it called?
The Case for Christ.
Is that all
Not
it is?
The book.
A Case for Christ. Well, I saw it on the. Go look for Case of Christ.
Okay, hold on. Wait, so your sponsor's an actual movie? Who's giving you $25?
No, I don't have a whole lot to spare, but with all that's going terrible in the world, I thought something to distract you and you get a little gospel in it too. I wanted,
Wait a minute. So you're talking about the 70s movie where it looks like damn serial killer movie.
What?
With Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
What are you talking about? The case? No, it's The Case for Christ.
It's a 70s reporter trying to dig up whether Jesus was real.
That's right. Yes. Is it in the? I didn't know it's in the 70s. I just thought it was good. I used to watch years ago, and I know, bless her heart, bless her family, Mary Tyler Moore, bless her heart, on TV. Everybody knows her. I didn't like that show myself, but I tell you what I did like was old Lou Grant. And Lou Grant had his own show, if you remember, and that was always, he sent a reporter out to find something. I like it. These were good reporters, not like I have nowadays on a computer.
Did Lou Grant ever try to figure out if Jesus is real?
I would love if he did it. I'd watch that, yeah. And I hadn't seen this movie yet, but it just struck me. I made me want to see it. It's called The Case for Christ. It come out this year. And yeah, he's going everywhere in all the churches, and they looking, like a private, but he's a reporter. He's going to get to the bottom of a story, and he's going to find out whether Jesus is real or not. And that's the kind of thing we need to be usually in movies when you investigate in the churches, that because they're touching children or stuff like that, and it's pitiful. I want to see a movie where journalist, reporter goes and finds Jesus, and they're good things. That's what this is. It's called The Case for Christ. Get on the YouTubes and just look up the name of it. Stars Mike Vogel and Erica Christensen, And old Faye Dunaway. Remember her? She's from years ago. She's an old lady now. Remember Faye Dunaway?
What was she in?
She's in, what was the one in the car? She was in the movie where they were all in the car at the end of it. But she's an old actress. She's in it.
Grease?
I don't know. I can't remember the name of it.
Close Encounters?
They're all at the end of the movie, they're all in the car, dead. Anyway, she's in that. And she's good, but I'm looking.
Grease. You're thinking of Grease.
I don't remember the name of it. If that's the name, so be it. She was good in it. I remember. It's an old movie. It's been a long time ago. She's old now.
Yep.
The Case for Christ. He's on the case. He's going to find out whether Jesus is real. It doesn't say whether he does or not, but I'm pretty sure I know. I think it's based on a true story, so I know how it ends. I don't want to ruin it for anybody else.
It comes out April 7th. Are you going to go see it? Is it going to be at Coley's?
It better be. I'm going to tell Coley's about it. It should be. If it ain't at Coley's, something's wrong somewhere.
So this movie is like Zodiac. It's set in the 70s, but
Yeah.
instead of trying to prove a serial killer is real, they're trying to prove that Jesus is real.
There ain't no serial killer in it. No, but it's like it.
Have you seen it?
You sneaking around. I saw the thing, the clip of it, the shows.
So it's an atheist reporter, and he starts trying to dig up dirt on Jesus, and by the end of it, he's convinced that Jesus is real.
Yeah. He gonna get his, he gonna. That's it. Think you're so smart and find out something different. That's what every good movie should be.
I tell you, whoever the editor is in this trailer, that should have been Fred Thompson.
Oh, good Lord. Fred Thompson's still living. Bless his heart. I would have loved to see him. He would have been a good Lou Grant right there. If you had Fred Thompson.
Instead of liberal Lou Grant.
Yeah, a good one. Yeah, just because, Lou Grant's a little on the liberal side, yeah, but old Fred Thompson behind the desk, you go get him. You track him down. You find out. You tell me about this Jesus fella. Get out there and find out.
You don't see a lot of big city newspaper editors telling their reporters to get out there and prove the existence of Christ.
No, maybe they should. That's all I'm going to say.
More, get out there and find these priests who are molesting children.
That's it. That's the only thing when you talk.
Because it's always bad news. What about the good news?
Right. Now, a reporter always come back with children being molested. Church. This is finding out. You go to the church and find out Jesus. I ain't gonna ruin the ending. I ain't even seen it yet, but I'm pretty. You see.
What if they put out this big Christian movie and they pimp it out to churches and they get everybody excited to go see it on April 7th? The Case for Christ. They did not give us $25.
No, it's not an official. I need to make that clear. They did not.
Jackie paid himself $25, I guess.
I wouldn't.
You gonna write yourself a check?
I wouldn't have accepted it if they'd offered. I said, no, appreciate somebody doing the right thing. Getting out there and making movies that,
it
people
would
like
be
myself want to
funny
see.
if at the end of this movie and he's like, you know what? Jesus, I was right. Jesus ain't real.
Hey, that's not funny.
Happy Easter.
No.
This is a joke.
No, that wouldn't. No, that's like. See, I don't think stuff like that's funny. First off,
this is a gag. Well, that's the kind of joke they pulled when Obama was president. But now that Trump is president, I'm not sure. These Christian cinema movies became super popular under Obama. Now that Trump's in the White House.
Yeah, I'm worried about that. I think that's all out the window. A lot of people said the Christians should vote for that man, and I said I don't know what heaven you going to.
Maybe you ought to go protest this movie, Jackie.
I ain't gonna go
yell
protest.
At the screen.
I want to go see it. I ain't gonna go protest a movie about Jesus and reporters. I'm not gonna protest that.
Why
I
don't you
think
be
they
a
should
liberal
be doing
Tea
that.
Party like you already are?
Oh, shut the hell
Here's
up.
how I see it going down. The movie, atheist reporter says, well, I guess I was wrong the whole time, and now it's 1978.
That's not what
and
he's.
Jesus exists. And then you stand up and go, if Jesus exists, explain Trump. And everybody goes, boo, sit down. You go, you sit down. Jesus would help sick people, and all you want to do is
I'll say it on here. I ain't going to go say it in the middle of a good movie. They can go see it if they want to. I just say I don't understand it. I don't understand why they don't make a bit of sense to me. People go to church every Sunday. And that's who we need. They said that's a man. That man's for me right there. And working class people work hard, and think for a second that man's going to do anything for you. He already with the bank and all that stuff. All that's already done. The damage is done there. They don't fix it where you make more money. They fix it where all them bank people. That's all they do. Anyway, go see Case of Christ.
They're like, you need a case of Christ.
I do. I'm going to go see it opening night. If Coley's has got it down there, which I should, I need a little of that. Because I like it when reporters looking for things and they find it.
And it's Jesus.
Well, yeah, that's all that does is make it better to me. Go on. It's on YouTube. Go look at it. Case for Christ, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Looking forward to seeing that movie.
It's not out yet. Just a trailer is out.
Yeah, hopefully someday, if we're able to, I hope when it finally comes out on the thing, you can put it on here. What is it when you talk over it?
Yeah, maybe. We'll do a commentary for Case of Christ.
I'd like to pray, this part's good. Look at this
Should we
part.
just start doing a separate podcast? It starts off going through the films of Steve Bannon, and then we just move on to Christian cinema?
It won't hurt me to watch some of that. I don't want to watch the Bannon things. That's something with Mel Gibson in space. No.
That's one of them ideas you have. Oh, that's good. We could just watch all Steve Bannon's movies, and then you think about actually having to do it.
I ain't going to do that. They talk about making somebody crazy.
I ain't even going to make a list of the news next week. I didn't do a damn bit of good.
No, I didn't. I
just let it flash through my brain and give me the future headache.
Out of breath after you read all that, what he's done.
We're just going to wing it. Y'all can like it or lump it.
Yep.
I got a sponsor this week, Jackie, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. If you are, and it kind of dovetails nicely with your sponsor, which is Jesus, I believe, and I also am sponsored by Jesus in a way.
Why?
If you are...
Watch your mouth.
A nudist.
Oh.
Or a Christian.
Stupidest thing in the world.
Or nudist curious. Or Christian curious. Or nudist Christian curious. You want to get on down to Naked Church. It's a church I run from Mount Shepherd Pasture Church. Before people get to actual church or after they leave, we have some early morning services and we have some... sort of dusk service.
That's just call it what it is. Call it a naked house. It ain't no church. It ain't, no. If people are going there to get naked, that ain't church to me. That's not how I went to church, and I never would go to church at. So call it what it is. Don't call it church, call it naked house.
Let me tell you the origin of Naked Church, this church I founded. It was the 70s, and I was a reporter for a big city newspaper that was called The Tribune. It didn't have a city name in front of it, which most newspapers would have.
Yeah.
But according to the trailer for the film of my origin story, it just said The Tribune. And, folks, I said, I want to get down to the nitty-gritty. And my editor told me, he called me into his office and said, why ain't you done a story on how to get closer to Jesus? I'm like, in the 70s? Nobody was going to read that. He said, well, maybe they need to. Maybe the Reagan Revolution's about to happen. And there's a bunch of people wanting to read stories about Jesus.
Yeah, that's true right there. But I
don't think so. But I'll go down and look at the Shroud of Turin. So I talked to the priest at the church where the Shroud of Turin. I guess that's just hanging up in a church somewhere. I'm not sure. According to the trailer for Case of Christ, it looks like it's just hanging up in a church.
You don't know. He may have dreamed, Matt. You don't know. A lot of movies like that, you dream.
That gets into some Robert Langdon territory right there when you're looking at the Shroud of Turin. So I talked to Robert Langdon and the Shroud of Turin. I asked the Shroud of Turin, like, how can people get closer to Jesus? And the Shroud of Turin said, well, what if Jesus was on the other side of me, the shroud, and you tried to hug it? And I said, well, that's weird. Do you want a hug? And he said, yeah, nobody ever, the Shroud of Turin, a lot of people look at me, but nobody ever touches me.
That's pitiful.
So I hugged the Shroud of Turin, and it said, now imagine if Jesus was on the other side. It's like a three-way hug, a hug sandwich, all right, and you're the meat, Shroud. the meat shroud. And the shroud said, but imagine if I wasn't in the way, you'd be even closer to Jesus. And I said, whoa, you just blew my mind. And then I had another flash, and I was in the future, in the future park.
What?
And my future wife, Erica Elaniak of the future, said, what happened to you? I said, I had a weird flash. Now I have to go invent naked church. So I came back to now. And I said to my podcast co-host, Jackie Broles, Jackie, this is where it all dovetails with the present. Jackie.
What?
You can get closer to somebody in a hug when you're both naked.
Just shut up. I'm not going to go. That's not
what
church.
We're doing. We're naked hugging Jesus.
Don't say church is blasphemous. People go and say, I'm going to church, and what you end up doing is go take your clothes off and hugging on other people with their clothes off. No. That's not. No, sir.
And don't worry about sitting down and getting something on the pew cushions. I'll rent you towels.
Oh.
And Jackie thinks it's all hippies and all perverts. And we have our share. Because who did Jesus hang out with, Jackie?
They had the clothes on. They don't matter. He said the first thing you had to do before you started going along with Jesus was put a robe on or something.
Who said that?
I don't know if it says it exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was.
Well, yeah, a robe or something. We have robes at the beginning, and then we have a ceremony where they drop to the floor.
Jesus wasn't around for any of that.
Look, Bible clothes are basically naked clothes.
No,
we have some sandals, and we wear sandals because it's sanitary. And we put towels down, and we have robes on at the beginning. So there's all sorts of clothes coming off and going on.
All right.
Coming off again.
Enough.
And then we sing some songs. We have a naked pianist. And we have naked organ. We have a lot of naked organs.
I get it. It's
a lot of naked penises.
Shut up. Everybody's naked. I hear you. And that's shameful if they're doing that. And
it ain't just pervies. And it ain't just nudists. And it ain't just hippies. I've been advertising. I've been putting flyers up at the co-op and at the Tractor Supply store.
What?
And Elmer Cut Pipe and his wife come down. And he took me aside. He said, Preacher Dunlap, I ain't never been naked in front of a bunch of people before.
All right.
I said, well, do you think this is the way to get closer to God? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, let's pray about it. And he got down on his knees, and I reminded him about the time that he got cut real bad on that tractor.
Why?
And he passed out because he couldn't stand the sight of blood. This is a 70-year-old man.
Why?
Farmer. Salt of the earth. Stoic. I said, I bet you when they cut you out of your overalls at the hospital, a lot of people seen you naked. He said, yes, sir. I said, I'll bet you another thing, too, that Jesus was in that room looking after you because you still here talking to me. We praying here on our knees in this Hardee's parking lot where I told you to meet me so you could buy me a sausage biscuit. So Jesus was in that room, and you were naked in front of a bunch of doctors and nurses. He said, I never thought about it like that. I said, well, anytime Jesus is in a room of naked people, my experience has been everybody gets more saved.
All right, just
don't you want to be more saved? He said, I'm going to talk to Kathleen about it. And they were both down there this weekend. I seen both of them naked. Elmer Cut Pipe and Kathleen Cut Pipe, his wife.
All right. I don't want to hear anymore. I don't want to
see. They've been married 56 years.
What's that got to do with anything? Good for them.
That's the kind of thing you need to know as a preacher. See, well, I'm glad to see Elmer and Kathleen Cut Pipe here, and they have been married for 56 years.
Put some clothes on. That's great. You celebrate your anniversary with your clothes on. If you're going to do that, do it in the privacy of home. Don't go to church.
Monty Toll called me.
What?
Monty Toll wants to come to naked church.
Oh, I don't care who wants to go take your clothes off. It don't make a bit of difference to me.
You're going to tell me Monty Toll, another 70-year-old farmer. I'm really zeroing in on that demographic. Somebody you've known probably your whole life. Him coming down there with his second wife, Nettie, and getting naked next to Elmer Cut Pipe and Kathleen.
I don't believe you for a second. No, sir.
I got pictures.
No.
You're not supposed to take pictures, but they let me.
What is picture? I don't want to say pictures, so nobody naked,
Well,
let alone
people
I know.
If people start to leave the church and start talking about things that go on in there, then I got pictures of you.
Oh, shut up.
Naked on my phone. I got pictures of everybody.
Tell everybody they should go take your clothes off so
It's
this one
just a
over here can
bargaining
take
chip.
pictures of you with his telephone.
It's a bargaining chip.
Whatever
I rarely
it is,
look at
that
them
makes
when
a lot of sense. That's it. Get
that's-
on here. I'll meet you over at that in the native church. It's a house. I call it a naked house. Don't like to say church. If you want to go in the house and take your clothes off and have Vision over here, take pictures with his cell phone of you all unclothed like that, then
as a bargaining chip.
there ain't no bargaining nothing. There's a bunch of it's dumb. You that stupid, then so be it. Go do it. That's
You
fine.
sound like a damn Pharisee or
Whatever
somebody
it is.
else who was a Jesus villain.
Well, if
I don't know who the whole rogues gallery of Jesus is.
whichever one you think I am, I got clothes on. I guarantee you that. The only part of the Bible where there's naked is Adam and Eve. Rest of it got clothes on. Every bit of it, every last bit. Just the beginning is the only part's got people walking around naked. And God said it's okay.
Well, I'm going to make a movie called The Case for Naked Church, and it's going to be the story of me investigating and finding out everybody in the Bible's naked,
Nope.
and y'all been doing it wrong the whole time.
No, I ain't
And
gonna
I'll
go see
guarantee
that.
you, getting a naked church, more people going to come to church and get closer to Jesus, and we need it more than ever today in this age of Trump.
No. Not to take your clothes off. No. Go to church, yes. Don't go take your clothes off.
Whatever it takes, whatever gets you through the night, is what John Lennon sang, and he was definitely in Jesus' rogues gallery. So that's Naked Church.
Yeah.
Come on down, folks, for the laying on of hands. You don't need a reservation, but we have had a couple of naked people wander in accidentally, and I'm like, that's weird. And they're like, apparently, also, what I've found is that a lot of people like to sneak into the church before church starts and have sex.
All right.
That is
That's
not-
enough.
No.
Shut your mouth.
We counsel them.
Shut your mouth.
We tell them, look, whatever kind of kinky, thrill-seeking stuff you're here at Naked Church, we are into getting closer to Jesus.
I don't want to hear any more about
and
it.
nudity. And whatever you think you're doing, sneaking in here, coming in through the, talk to me about it later. I'm going to counsel you privately, man.
I don't want to hear about it.
But that's not what we're about. But people keep turning up naked. And I'll tell you what, we're getting people. We're getting more and more people in Naked Church because they showed up to be blasphemous and have sex in church.
Yes, yes, blasphemous. Don't call it. Keep your clothes on at church. Period.
No, that's not the blasphemous part.
No,
The
it
part
is.
that they were trying to sneak in before Naked Church and have sex.
No.
And we catch them because they didn't know Naked Church
If you
was
got
going on.
everybody's clothes off, that's just the type of things you trying to encourage. That's the kind of situation you're going to find
No.
yourself in. That's a bunch of keep your damn clothes on when you go to church.
Look, let me tell you what's happening. Let me break it down because I may have confused you. People think regular church is all that happens at Mount Shepherd Pastor Church.
Why?
They don't know about the Naked Church that's happening before and after that I'm sneaking in and getting done and making money by renting towels.
Why?
So people are sneaking in going, hey, honey, let's go have sex in church because people are crazy.
Yes, they're crazy. They're crazy
So
if they do
sneak
that.
in and they see a room full of naked people. And they're like, what? And I'm like, this is Jesus calling out to you and you, ma'am.
They're crazy
I don't
for taking their
feel
clothes off.
Great hitting on my parishioners, but if somebody sneaks into church to have sex, I'm a little more okay with coming on to them.
Just shut your mouth. I don't care about it. Go.
So there's naked people sneaking in to do blasphemy. There's naked people trying to get closer to Jesus. And then there's clothed people for the 11 o'clock service.
That's what should be every service is clothes on. Every single one.
You can come to Naked Church in your clothes.
I ain't gonna go anywhere near it.
But we're
Don't
gonna
ask me
think
again.
you're a pervert.
I get offended you asking me.
I'm not asking you. The door is open.
I'm not coming.
Well,
so
except
you,
it's not. It's closed.
It better be. Yes.
And locked. You have to know the secret knock.
I'm not
But we
coming.
put that up on our Facebook page.
I don't
But
want to know.
that
it.
Facebook page is not open.
I don't want
You
to
have
know.
to
it.
get an invite.
I don't want to know what any password. I don't want to go
So
no
if you
church
go to our Tumblr, that's
with that going on
where
in
the
it.
invite is.
I go to regular church where everybody keeps their clothes on and you read the gospel and you sing his gospel songs.
We sing
That-
gospel songs.
I don't, not with your clothes off.
You should see him during the high notes.
Oh, shut your mouth. I don't care the first thing about it. No. That ain't no kind of sponsor. It's getting blasphemous. I'm getting tired. I don't know how many times it's been. You talk about naked in church. I'm sick of it.
3.
Now's the time that we both have to go. Our podcast come out really great, we know. Our time is at an end, so until we meet again, we'll just have to say goodbye, friend. Saying bye-bye always brings us down. But our bags are packed and we have to leave town. A postcard to you we will send if a stamp to us you'll lend, so we can write and say goodbye, 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 goodbye.
That's a pretty good podcast, I think.
All the same to me. I can't tell a bit of difference, except it's just worse doing it down here than it was when I had a store in a bunker underneath it.
That was more fun. That was more fun. You were sitting on my bed when you leave. There's still that lingering odor of Jackie down here.
Alright.
I had all the odors down here arranged just the way I liked them. I'm not going to say it smelled good, but I was used to the odors.
Well, I wasn't used to it. Thank goodness your mama come down here, or your grandmama come down here and made
Mama
you.
won't come down here.
I know, she knows better. I know it. Your grandmama come down here and is embarrassed for me. And then she's been making you clean up at least a little bit. Worse than it was the first 2 times I come in here. It just smells bad.
I don't come into your house and tell you what smells.
I don't want you to come in my house. I don't come in it. There ain't nothing for you in there to smell. Not a thing. Keep your nose outside my house.
You keep your nose outside my room.
I have to come down here to do this?
All right.
Stupid damn
So
thing. I
many
wouldn't be
things-
down here
so
otherwise.
many weird
man.
things happen because we have to do this podcast.
Make me so damn mad.